I tell y'all what's on my mind?
Wise up, wise up, wise
I'm thinking a
up.
couple
It's
of
your
things
brother,
on my chest.
your cousin, your uncle, your nephew, your friend, but I can't be your son. It's your kinfolk. William Jewell. Giving you my detail as I articulate. This is articulating. Rap, 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 rap. How y'all doing? How y'all doing? If you haven't already, make sure you hit that subscribe button down below and turn all the notifications on so you can get all the new posts and all the new content when I drop them. Appreciate y'all for listening. Appreciate y'all for tuning in. Trying to get those clips a little bit more coming. Trying to build this YouTube channel. I'm almost at 100 subscribers. I need 8 more as of today. So run me up to 100. We're going to try to get to 1,000. We're going to try to get to 1,000, but we taking it, a little bit slower. And I got to devote more time. I got to put more time into the craft, into the time of like getting those clips, those shorts, so I could build the community, so I could build the subscribers. So, man, y'all just bear with me, man. Y'all just hang in there with me, man. I'm coming. I'm coming because I'm giving y'all this content. I'm just talking so greasy. I'm just talking so slick, but at the same time, I'm informing y'all. I'm educating y'all. I'm entertaining y'all. I'm just giving y'all a little bit of every element that I can. Right? Because this is the culture of hip hop. This is the culture that makes things look cool, make things sound cool, and just gives that alternative point of view than the regular, typical, stereotypical, American view. And there is a lot of music that I want to get to. There's a lot of things going on in music that I want to get to, and I appreciate music for giving me this platform. I appreciate music for just letting me, dissect, detail, and articulate. So if it wasn't for music, if it wasn't for the artists, I wouldn't be able to do this the way that I'm doing this. So I gotta show them love. I gotta show them appreciation. And don't think as if I'm trying to tear you down. I'm trying to give y'all constructive criticism. I'm just trying to give y'all some of my thoughts, some of my point of view. But welcome to Soul Burger, home of the Soul Burger. Can I take your order? Right? Ab Soul releases his highly anticipated album, Soul Burger, this Friday, November the 8th. And, I gave it a good 3 spins, right? I'm already 3 spins in. Listen to it in the gym. Listen to it in the car. Listen to it again in the gym. So I feel like I've really been able to dissect this album and just kind of see what Soul is talking about. And I appreciate this album. I think this is a good album. I heard Joe Budden saying that this is a cult classic. I feel like Herbert is more of a cult classic. And when you think about cult classics, you think about cultural classics that might not have the accolades as some of the mainstream classics, but everybody in the culture knows it, respects it, and relates to it. And I don't think that this is that album. So I wouldn't say this is a cult classic. I think this is a good album, right? This is a good album. This is a good follow-up to Herbert, right? He gave us a little bit more energy on this album. But the thing with the energy, when you're trying to gain that commercial success, when you're trying to reach that mainstream marker, you lose a little bit of your soul, right? And he's Ab Soul, and I feel like he gave us the energy, but it came at the sacrifice of the spirit. It came at the sacrifice of the soulfulness that he gave us on Herbert. So he did give us the upbeat, up-tempo type of stuff that a lot of people was asking for him. You know what I'm saying? And I can't knock him for doing it. I can't knock him for trying that because he's a great artist. He's a great lyricist. Why not try to exceed the expectations? Why not try to take that risk? Right? Because this is a risk-taking album. This is something out of his wheelhouse. This is something that he's never really done before. But this is something that, the people that listen to Ab-Soul, this is something that the fan base can appreciate. Now, his authentic, from the ground up fan base, they might not love it, but he gave us the lyricism. So how can we be mad? We just lost a little bit of the soul. So the Soul Burger, it didn't have enough seasonings in it, right? It came with all the dressings, with the bacon, the cheese, the tomatoes, lettuce, and pickles and mustard. It came with the bread with a little bit of butter on it. It came with the sesame seeds on top and the curly fries with, some ketchup on the side. It came with all the dressings, bells and whistles, but the taste, the flavor, I believe it wasn't as good. So this is a good album, right? But I feel like we lost a little bit in this album because he was trying to do a little bit more commercial, right? And then we talk about 9 Mile. This is the introduction track, right? This is the introduction. However do you want it? However do you need it? And then he blended that instrumental up with the shook ones. And if you watch the movie 8 Mile, he approached it like when Rabbit did his verse going against Clarence. when he went up against Papa Doc. This is what Ab-Soul did. He kind of talked about himself as a junkie, as somebody that used drugs, but as somebody that used drugs was able to be used to deliver this message through rap. Bucko Jr., Birdman Jr., he paid homage to the greats. He paid homage to Eminem with 9 Mile, 8 Mile. Bucko Jr., he paid homage to Wayne. And that last verse, he really gave you that Wayne flow. That last verse on Bucko Jr., right? I had to listen to it a couple of times to understand what he was actually trying to do. And I think he did Wayne justice. I think he did Wayne a great service. So Bucko Jr., Birdman Jr. And then when you go to the last track, Kendrick gave us Mortal Man. Ab-Soul gave us Righteous Man. So you can tell the people that he respect, the people that he hold in high regard, Eminem, Wayne, and his friend, his co-star, Kendrick Lamar. So, just to pay homage to those greats and just to show them love musically. And to be honest, he might have did that a little bit more throughout this album that I wasn't aware of. Because he did Sky's the Limit, with Blast. And it sounded like he was doing a little bit, homage to Biggie. So, at the same time, he paid homage to the greats. And when doing that, that song will take new life. That song will take new direction, and it will be able to stand alone. It won't be just a song on the album. It will be one of those songs that we're going to listen to and compare to the 8 Mile and compare to the Birdman JRs and compare to the Mortal Man Kendricks. You know what I'm saying? So I think he did a good job at doing that as well. But I'm disappointed that there were no Black Hippie appearances. I'm disappointed that we didn't get Kendrick on this album. I'm disappointed that we didn't get J-Rock on this album. I'm disappointed that we didn't get Schoolboy Q on this album. Right? And not that Schoolboy Q or J-Rock would have done anything to elevate this album, but I believe the chemistry that they would have been able to match with Ab-Soul would have been something that he kind of would have needed to give it that commercial success that he was trying to get. And without the presence of Kendrick, the same thing. We say, Cole, what are you doing for the people in Dreamville? But Kendrick, what are you doing for the people like J-Rock? And which Kendrick has done a lot for J-Rock. I feel like he's done a lot for Schoolboy Q, but for Ab-Soul, who's trying to reach that platform, that's trying to reach that pedestal, I believe, not that he owes him, but, it's his turn to shine some light on him. And he shined some light on him through the pop out, right? He shined some light on him throughout that battle. But to have a verse from him on this album, or just some type of ad-lib or some type of feature in some form, shape, or fashion, I think this would have been a great upstart for Ab-Soul in trying to conquer the commercial and the mainstream, hurdles that he's looking at. Because some of these hurdles he wasn't able to jump over. Some of these obstacles he wasn't able to outmaneuver because that cohesion, right? It didn't have that cohesion to me, right? That Herbert had. Herbert all the way through, it had that replay value. See, like I said, there's going to be a couple of songs that we might go back to, but the album from beginning to end, like to me, that's what attracts me to an album. If you can capture me from the beginning to the end through every track and just make it sound so good, make it flow so well, that's something that can garner my attention. But I feel like Ab Soul, the cohesion, it was kind of a little bit of off because he was going into the high energy songs, numbed it down, and then it lost its pizzazz, it lost its mojo. You know what I'm saying? It lost its moxie because when he was trying to bring it back up, I don't believe it got back up there to complete that cohesiveness, to complete that connection. Right? It just went up and kind of went down and then rise back up and give us that heartbeat, right? I look at an album as a heartbeat. Sometimes you got the lows, but it got to come back up to keep that heart beating, to keep you still engaged. And that's this is a long album review, but this is how I feel. This is what I think. Absol, you could have did a little bit more. You gave us the energy, but you forgot the soul. Right? You gave us the excitement, but you forgot the enlightenment. And that's what I needed to overcome. That's what I needed, like, to resonate with. That's what I needed to really, like, buy into this album. And I didn't get it. I feel like that first listen and the second listen was cool. And then the third listen, that was just more forced. Like, that was more forced. Because I was ready to get back to Freddie Gibbs. I said I wasn't going to compare. But, like, that's the replay value. That's the cohesion that I kind of need in these albums. And I just didn't get it. But salute, Ab Soul. Appreciate you, Ab Soul. Thank you, TDE. Thank you for the album. Regardless of how I feel about it, I feel like it was a good album. To me, it just wasn't great. And to me, when we look at it and compare it to the last album, Herbert, I feel like it fell short of that mark. But it was a good follow-up, only because it didn't go too far down, because we kind of understood the assignment and understood what he was trying to do with this album, but it just didn't hit the same markers that it was supposed to hit with the attempt. Right? He tried it, but the attempt kind of fell short. You know what I'm saying? He didn't hit the bullseye, but he kind of hit like around the white area. Close to the bullseye, but not too far outside of it to where he gained 0 points, right? He was close to the bullseye. He was close to the 100. But I would say this is like a 7 out of 10. 7 out of 10 for Ab-Soul. And I would give Herbert more of an 8.5 out of 10. So when I compare those two albums together, this is kind of what I'm looking. So it's kind of like a 1-point drop off. Not a big drop off, but this is a drop off for the hip hop heads, for the people that really love Ab Soul. We know what he was trying to do, but I don't think he fully accomplished it. Then we go to the ASAP Ferg, Daryl, right? I was only able to do one listen. I was only able to give y'all one listen because I was trying to jam this Ab Soul. I was trying to see what he was talking about on Soul Burger. So when we talk about Daryl, I just gave it that one listen, and it came in with high energy. And this reminded me of like the normal albums from back in the day, always high energy. Then from the high energy, it kind of goes back down, right? And then finishes up, you know what I'm saying, with something high. And I think that's what he did with Daryl on the last track. But nothing, nothing really sounded bad to me. Nothing sounded bad on this album. It just kind of got a little bit boring because once he stopped rapping with that high energy and once he wasn't giving us those high-paced beats, it seemed like he was like talking instead of rapping. It seemed like he wasn't really into it. You know what I'm saying? Like he could have been into it. He wasn't emphasizing, or he just wasn't hitting those certain pockets. He just wasn't on the rhythm when he was giving us those lyrics, giving us those words. And sometimes the performance is what matters the most. Sometimes not the lyricism. So if it's not all about the lyrics, if you can capture the performance, I believe you can do some things even with subtle lyricism, even with, you know what I'm saying, lack thereof, as long as you can perform it and say it right. And I feel like that's kind of where, like, it took me aback. I didn't really, I wasn't all that engaged as well. I wasn't all that interested as well. So I had to finish this album so I could kind of give it a review, so I could give it a critique. But I wasn't that interested in finishing this album. You know what I'm saying? And it might be hard for me to go back to it again. You know what I'm saying? Like, it had a couple slaps on there, it had a couple good hits on there. You know what ASAP Ferg gives us. But then when he kind of got away from it, then it was just totally different sound, and it kind of took us. It took us for a loop. It kind of caught you by surprise that he started high energy, then he went another direction, and then he tried to bring it back. But at the same time, it was just hard to really like stay focused because the way he was rapping, it just wasn't my cup of tea. It wasn't terrible lyricism, but the energy when it wasn't there, you know, he wasn't able to make his voice an instrument. You know what I'm saying? On certain production. So good production, good beats, I guess. Like, did it really stand out? The production really stand out? No. Did the production really carry him? No. But he didn't carry the production. He didn't use his voice as an instrument, and he wasn't, giving me that energy that I wanted throughout the album. So I appreciated it, right? And I would say this is good to mediocre album. This is, you know what I'm saying? Somewhere in those sixes, between 6 and 7. It's not a 5, it's not trash because he was able to be vulnerable. He was able to take some risks. He was able to say some things that happened to him in his youth that he was holding on to for a while. And I can't knock that. I can't hate that. I can appreciate that. I can totally relate to the realness that he was trying to offer to his fans, that he was trying to offer to the listeners, because we all know about stories like that. We all heard about stories like he was telling. And some of us have been a part of those stories. And just to hear somebody else share their story, it strengthens us a little bit. It elevates us a little bit. It gives us more courage, more bravery to share our story. So I'm glad that ASAP Ferg was able to get that off his chest and not be weak about it and not apologize about it, unapologetically just speak on his truth and what happened to him at his youth, and just to see where he's at now and just to see what he's accomplishing now. I mean, that's great. And those songs with Mary J. Blige, just that sprinkle of Mary J. just gave me hope. Just gave me another jolt of energy, that gave me another boost. Just that raspiness, that soulfulness in her voice that she lent to ASAP Ferg. I think he needed it ASAP around that time of the album, because that's when the album kind of picked back up. But in between that Future feature and until the time you got to that Mary J. Blige song, then it was kind of like, it just, you know what I'm saying? It wasn't all that for me. But I can appreciate it. I don't think I would go back to listen to it, but I liked it. So, that's ASAP Ferg. Shout out to Daryl. You know what I'm saying? And salute to the song Dead Homies. Right? Because we don't get a Dead Homie song. We don't get a RIP song that much anymore. So I'm glad that he put that back in the mix, because we always thinking about our dogs. We always thinking about, you know what I'm saying, some of the girls, the friends that we lost, the homies, you know what I'm saying, whether it be home girls, you know what I'm saying, just people like in general, family, friends, anybody that's lost. I just think we all need one of those songs on a hip hop album. I feel like we always used to get a song like that on a hip hop album. And thank you for ASAP Ferg for bringing it back. But damn it, what's up with this Thugger and Gunna nonsense, bro? Like, this publicity stunt, I don't like that shit. And as we know, Young Thug is the king of publicity stunts, calling men his hubby, wearing dresses. I feel like when we talk about this Rico case, we forgot about the feminine acts that he used to put on, that he used to carry on with to troll us with. Like, so this is not outside of his wheelhouse. He's tweeting about Gunna, saying, don't be acting like we cool on the internet. Gunna, I don't know you, my guy. Like, but you went to the judge and said that you want to do music with Gunna. And the fact that Gunna hasn't responded and hasn't replied, I assume that this is just another clout chasey move or a publicity stunt, and y'all probably will pop out with a collab track or a collab LP, EP. I don't know, but I feel like y'all gonna join forces in some way. Cause why else say that and tell the judge something different? I just feel like you're reaching, brother. I feel like you're chasing clout, and you don't have to chase clout, brother. You just got out of jail from a RICO charge, right? That's enough clout. And the fact that people consider you to stand tall, not snitch, you know what I'm saying, not rat, do the time like a man, you know what I'm saying, 2 years, damn near, and get out and be able to venture into this opportunity. Like, you gotta take full advantage of this opportunity. You can't squander this opportunity. Like, I get it, Thug. You like to play the games with the people. I get that you like to troll with the people. I get it. You like to wear the dresses. Remember that album cover on Jeffrey, right? I get it. You like to call men your hubbies. We didn't forget that, right? And all that means is it means nothing, because now we take that thought. We already take that idea, and we could apply it to what you're doing right now. So stop with all these gimmicks. Stop with all these games. Just give us the music. That shit not cool. Like, why put people in more suspense? Why drive that conversation even more? Why put more heat on Gunna? Why put more hate on Gunna? Like, because we know you want to ride the wave. Fall out with about that bread and butter. They give a clout. I put that on my dead brother. Yeah. Come on now. Gunna, he's alive and well. He's doing great. He doesn't even need Young Thug at this point. He doesn't even need Young Thug to vouch for him and say he's a snitch or a rat, because we've already enjoyed these two albums, one of one. We've already enjoyed these last two albums. We enjoyed these hits. He can't take away those hits because of what he said, because everybody was assuming something anyways. I just hate the fact that if you're going to do music with him now, you should have let people know that he wasn't a snitch, that he wasn't a rat, or you should have, took up for him. Like, so to me, the fact that you gonna do music with him and you didn't want to give him that release, you didn't want to give him that love, you didn't want to vouch for him when he needed you to vouch for him, and now when you want to get out, you want to do music with him, to me, you're trying to ride his wave. Because we all know music, especially the people that's been in jail for a while, right? They're not living. They're not on the outside. They're not experiencing things other than the prison walls. And sometimes when you're experiencing those prison walls, you don't want to get out and talk about the things that kept you in and the things that you saw in. So when we talk about Boosie, when we talk about other artists, when they came out, maybe we gave attention to their first couple of albums or records, songs. But after that, they kind of wasn't all that to us musically. So just the fact that you kind of been put on hold musically for a while, I can understand why you would want to attach yourself to Gunna. So don't do all that bullshit, bro. Stop with all those games and gimmicks. Just be straightforward. That's why I don't, like I said, I don't fool with guys that likes to do gimmicks, that likes to play games, that like to play the stunts. That just looks bad to me. Like they're trying too hard when they don't have to try that hard. Like everybody's talking about the release. Now we only want to hear new music. Right? We don't want to hear all that other bullshit. And then it's rumored that Drake flew a private jet to you and gave you $1 million. Drake's trying to buy your friendship. Drake's trying to buy your friendship so he can purchase Future's friendship back. Right? He wants you to negotiate. He wants you to be the mediator of his beef with Future. because of the tweet that you sent out. You sent out a tweet about Drake and Future, but you couldn't send out a vouch for Gunna, your own artist. And when you get out, you want to do music with him. Like, that don't make no sense. Right? And Drake, it doesn't make any more sense to continue to buy these Atlanta guys' friendship. Right? Because Thug, he might not be that same Thug after the release. Future, you don't need Future, right? Future always needed you. I mean, isn't that what you've been trying to tell people on this 20v1? You don't need Thugger. You don't need Metro Boomin. Ain't this what you've been trying to tell people? You don't need Atlanta. Although you did a song with 21 and Thug on the 100 gigs. Like, that's the thing. He say all these fan bases saying that Drake don't need these people when he obviously does, because he's paying for these people. He's paying for their friendships. He's trying to negotiate the terms of the friendship. Right? He's trying to get back in good graces with Future. They said they talked. They said they've been on the phone. Then other people denying it. I believe that, yes, they did talk. Like, but if you don't need these people, why would that rumor even be there? If you don't need these people, like what the fan base said. But you need these people. You're using these people. So, like, the fact that when we talk about numbers, when we talk about hits, yes, Drake helped them. But when we talk about cultural cachet, when we talk about influence, they helped Drake. When we talk about image, brand, they helped Drake. And that has allowed him to talk tough on records. Because when you hang with tough guys, you can think you're a tough guy. But when you remove those tough guys from around you and you're by yourself, you're not so tough. Right? I can see what DeMar Rosen saw on the sidelines at the Toronto Raptor game when you were trying to egg him on, when you were trying to meddle him, when you were trying to mean mug. They call it ice grilling. When you were trying to stare in his soul. I saw what DeMar DeRozan saw. He saw a pussy. He saw a cat that was made out of punani. He saw Drake. Somebody that needs to surround himself with athletes to feel like he's athletic, to feel like he's big, strong, right? Somebody that needs to surround himself with street rappers, gangster guys. Somebody that needs to have mob ties, or he will be tied up in a pretzel by this industry, right? So I get it, Drake. I get it, Thug. But don't put Gunna in this shit. Let Gunna make good music. Let his mom be stress-free. And little baby, you better not jump on that wave either. Give a fuck about what you said about Gunna. Like, you said all these disparaging things, and you try to get on the track with Gunna, like, hell no, stay over there. Stay over there. And Thug, I don't like it either. Stay over there too. Because I don't think Gunna needs you. Gunna might have needed you to start his career, but same way, you know, Future don't need Drake, Thug don't need Drake, and the fans say Drake doesn't need them. Well, Gunna doesn't need you, and you shouldn't need Gunna, right? But we know what this is about, man. Like, y'all, so I don't like this industry. But it is what it is. Like, anything for clout, anything for clicks, anything for likes, anything for traffic, anything for marketing, anything for advertising, anything to keep your name relevant. That's what y'all do it for, ain't it? So let's go to these Grammy nominations, right? Kendrick Lamar, Not Like Us, has been nominated for 5 Grammys. And number 1 is Song, right? Birds of a Feather, Billie Eilish, Fortnite, Taylor Swift, Post Malone. Not Like Us, Kendrick Lamar, Good Luck. Chappelle Roan, Please, 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 Sabrina Carpenter, A Bar Song, Tipsy, Shabuzi, Die with a Smile, Lady Gaga, Bruno Mars, Texas Hold'em, Beyonce. Right, he's nominated for Record of the Year, which is Fortnite, Taylor Swift, Birds of a Feather, Billie Eilish, Not Like Us, Kendrick Lamar, Good Luck, Babe, Chappelle Roan, Espresso, Sabrina Carpenter, 360, Charlie XCX, Now and Then, The Beatles, Texas Hold'em, Beyonce, right? And the best new artist, Doechii, TDE. We got to show love to TDE. We got to show love to Doechii. Alligator Bites Never Heal, which is also nominated for Rap Album of the Year. Death of Slim Shady, Might Delete Later, J. Cole, The Auditorium, Volume 1, Pete Rock, We Don't Trust You, Future, Metro Boomin. So The Auditorium, Volume 1 is my favorite rap album of the year. Right? I liked Doechii from an artistry standpoint, but to be in all honesty, I didn't go back to it. I probably went back to Might Delete Later more. I went back to The Auditorium more. Death of Slim Shady a little bit more. And then We Don't Trust You a little bit more. So I feel like the album that I listened to the most out of these rap albums was Might Delete Later. So I could see J. Cole winning it. You know what I'm saying? When we take, away all the stuff from the beef. But, We Don't Trust You, Future, and Metro Boomin, it just sparked a lot of waves and really put on for rap this year. And melodic rap performance. Right, we got Spaghetti, Beyonce, 3 a.m., Erykah Badu, Rhapsody, Big Mama, Lotto, Kehlani, We Still Don't Trust You, The Weeknd, Future, Metro Boomin. And so, Spaghetti, I heard some people saying, why is Beyonce in this? But Beyonce was rapping in this song, and it was and she had melodies in her. So I could see why. It's good to see the Rhapsody's getting some love. Good to see Lotto's getting some love. Kehlani, right? She's getting some love. So the women are getting love in this category. It's 4 women nominated. And then we got Future and Metro Boomin. So We Still Don't Trust You. That was a big record this year. And so rap performance, we go to Like That, Kendrick Lamar, Future, Metro Boomin, Not Like Us, Kendrick Lamar. So two songs that Kendrick is on in this rap performance category. Nissan Ultima, Doechii, which she did kill it. She did go hard on it. And performance-wise, she ate. When the Sun Shines Again, Common, Pete Rocks. I just love that song. I love that album. Enough. I don't think Cardi B should be in here. Yeah, Glorilla, Houdini, Eminem. I don't think Houdini was even the best song on that album. But for some reason, it was the biggest single. So I see why it's nominated. But Houdini wasn't the best song on that album. Yeah, Glow. It was a cultural classic. Yeah. Enough. I don't think Cardi B deserved. She didn't do enough to get in that category. Rap song Carnival, Kanye West, Like That Again, right? Not Like Us, Kendrick Lamar, Asteroids, Rhapsody again. Then we got Yeah Glow, right? Glorilla. And then I want to shout out Anderson .Paak, Wild Lord, No Worries. Anderson .Paak and Knowledge. They got Urban Contemporary album. And then best music video, Taylor Swift, A$AP Rocky, 360, Charlie XCX, Houdini, Eminem, which was a great music video. And I could see that music video winning, but Not Like Us had a different influence on the culture when it came out. The world stopped, so I could see Not Like Us getting it. And Fortnite, Taylor Swift. So I could see Kendrick winning at least in all the rap categories. Now, if he can win Song of the Year, if he can win Record of the Year, I mean, I see he could. That would be a big thing. That would be a big accomplishment, and that would say a lot of things about his influence on the music industry, his influence on rap, his influence just worldwide, globally, internationally, because I feel like the Grammys is an international stage because they recognize a lot of artists, a lot of musicians. And the pushback I was getting about the Kendrick, you know what I'm saying? We go back to the line that Drake said, Kendrick just opened his mouth. Somebody hand him a Grammy right now. The pushback that we get on Kendrick is The same thing they was saying about the Harper's Bazaar interview, right? This is a predominantly white publication, right? The Grammys is a predominantly white award, but at the same time, it has its prestige, just like the Oscar, just like the Emmy, right? At the same time, it boosted your, you know what I'm saying, your brand and your image when you're winning these awards, your acclaim, your accolades, your fame. So the Grammy does a lot for your reputation. It does a lot for your resume. So sometimes people of the culture that don't get these awards, they put it down, right? But when they get these awards, they praise them. So it's kind of like a double-edged sword for Kendrick Lamar for being the, the activist, lyrical activist, for being a leader, for being somebody that's for the culture, and to be, praised and upheld on these predominantly white stages like the Super Bowl, like the Grammys, like Harper's Bazaar, and you know what I'm saying, not going to the BET Awards or not sitting down with any urban podcast platforms, you know what I'm saying, or just not talking to any black media, right? And to be honest, to me, that's just a thing that people try to say to make artists feel bad, to make them feel like they're not doing right by the community and doing right by the culture. And I think, like, at the end of the day, if they can speak to the culture, if they can speak about the culture and the significance, no matter who it is, too, if they can give the culture something to hang on, something to believe in, something to hope for, then that's all that needs to be done when we trying to pick and choose which platforms that need to be shown love to. At the same time, it's it's hard. It's very hypocritical, right? Because these same platforms want to be recognized by certain publications, want to be recognized by certain groups in the industry, right? And they need artists like Kendrick Lamar, Drake, and J. Cole to come to them to build their platform, to build their